Hello everyone, Raccoon-Formers here, and today I'll be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series eBay exclusive Wasp, or Waspinator. Take your pick on how you want to say it.
Behold!
Waspinator. This is a very special figure right here because it is exclusively on eBay. Hasbro did not create this. It was created by an eBay seller. An eBay seller took Studio Series 70 B127 and gave him a repaint to make him look like the classic character Waspinator. Which kind of makes sense because in the show Transformers Animated, Bumblebee said that he and Wasp shared the same protoform mold.
In fact, it looks like we were both forged from the same protoform mold.
And coincidentally enough, Bumblebee was in his protoform mode at that particular time in the series, and B127 here is technically Bumblebee's protoform because that's what he was like on Cybertron before he scanned any of his Earth vehicle modes. I'm wondering if that was the eBay seller's plan. If that's the case, it's pretty cool. But nonetheless, the eBay seller did a phenomenal job making this figure look like Wasp. It looks so cool. It's decked out in this awesome looking metallic green. The shark fin is decked out in yellow, just like B127. It's nice that they left that in. And the wheels are technically the same too, black and yellow. I'm wondering if that was to show that this is the same figure. It's pretty cool. I love this yellow and purple up here. It looks so cool. That's probably my favorite detail about this figure. It looks so cool. Nice looking purple up here with his cannon, which is decked out all in green. Bit of robot kibble, but it's nothing new. It's the exact same as B127. So not that big of a deal. Nice looking headlights, which are decked out in white instead of black. Get out of the way. Yeah, and unlike, actually no, never mind. The roof is kind of the same too. Like I said, the shark fin is the same color, and the stripe down the middle is the same too. See? I'm wondering if that was something else to let you know that it's the same figure. Overall, it's a phenomenal vehicle mode, and I love this repaint. You did a phenomenal job, eBay seller. He comes with the exact same accessory that B127 does, the arm cannon. And if I'm to be completely honest with you, I don't feel like they changed any of the paint deco. Let me bring in cliff jumpers as well. To be honest, it's kind of hard to tell which gun is which, but yeah, they're all the same. They all are. It's a pretty cool mold, but it would have been nice if we got something different, but it's alright. It's alright. And yes, since the weapon is the exact same as B127, the weapon storage is the same as well. They used the exact same weapon storage that I hate so much. They store the weapon right underneath the vehicle, and it's still almost impossible to get it in there. It's unfortunate, but it's alright. I just keep the weapon in my Transformer bag. But it still would have been nice if we got something new. But this figure came packaged in vehicle mode, and the weapon was actually in there. I'm wondering how hard it was to get the weapon in there. eBay seller who sold Wasp, if you're watching, let me know in the comments how hard it was. Anyway, let's get down to some comparisons. Here we have Studio Series eBay exclusive Wasp next to his inspiration, B127. These two figures look really cool together, and now that I think of it, Wasp hasn't actually made a debut in the live-action franchise yet. It would have been really cool if he did, and it still would be very cool if he did. Since Bumblebee and Wasp are like Optimus and Sentinel, old frenemies, it would have been nice if we got a Transformers movie where the sole purpose of it was the bonding experience of Bumblebee and Wasp. Like the case with Dark of the Moon, the whole purpose of that movie was the bonding experience between Optimus and Sentinel. Movie directors, if you're watching, keep that in mind. That would be the perfect topic for a future Transformers movie, live action or animation. But let's bring in the very first Cybertronian sports car to enter the Studio Series line, Cliff Jumper. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't these three figures look phenomenal together? They almost look like NASCAR race cars. Not entirely, but they do look like Cybertronian race cars. They look phenomenal together. They look so pretty together, too. Red, green, yellow. Actually, that's not the order of the rainbow colors. But I don't know. But they still look phenomenal together. Well, that's all I have to say about Wasp's vehicle mode. the transformation is exactly the same as B127's. But despite that, I'm still going to show it to you just in case it's been a while since you saw my B127 review that I published on Christmas Day. So let's begin. You would remove the accessory, but like I said, I don't store the accessory on the figure because it's too hard to get it in there. So we'll just skip that. We can bring him up here, bring out his armsies like that. You can detach his roof. Come down here, use your fingernail to dig that out. Shift this up like this. You can come down here, split the front bumper of the car, which will become the legs. Detach this. You can bring this down, flip out the feet, bring down the shin pad that's now decked out in yellow. Looks pretty nice. Then you can take the wheel section here, sort of untab it and shift it in like this. You can fold this back, fold the wheel inward out of its hinge like this, and it'll shift into place like that. Then you can bring this panel here, shift it down, and it'll lock into place like that. But just like B127 and Cliff Jumper, the legs don't like to stay together all that well, which is unfortunate. And there we have one leg all done. Second vest is just like the first. Flip out the foot, bring down the shin pad. Let me just get an itch. There we are. You can take this, accordion it inward like this. Untab the wheel, fold it in, and it'll shift in like that. Straighten out the foot, make sure everything stays into place, which it obviously doesn't because Transformers hate doing that. Yeah, then you can shift this section backwards and it'll tab into place. Like I said before, not well at all. And here we have the legs all done. Then you can bring down the trunk, bring the backpack out a little to give you space to fold the arms inward like this. Actually, first you can bring out his head, which, to be honest, looks really Wasp-like. I can't wait to take a look at that. Then you can fold the arms in, and you can bring these two tabs on the backpack into those two tabs in the arms, which will hold them into place. Then you can fold this backwards and this, giving him his clunky backpack, which I'm not a huge fan of. Then you can bring this down, open up his faux headlights, fold the trunk inward, tab this in like that, bring one out of the three cannons, and it's impossible to tell which one's which. You know, I'm not completely sure if this is B127s, Wasps, or Cliff Jumpers, but not that big a deal. You can just tab it into his hand like that. Pose him to make him look fly. And here we have the Transformers Studio Series eBay exclusive Wasp in his awesome looking robot mode. I've never been a huge fan of B127 or Cliff Jumper's transformation, and the transformation for Wasp here was exactly the same, so I don't have much to say about that, but the robot mode we end up with is absolutely gorgeous, color scheme wise. I've never been a huge fan of this figure's legs because of how badly they stay together. But let's take a look at some of Wasp's details. Let's bring him in for a dramatic close-up. Look at that mug. It totally reminds me of Wasp from Transformers Animated. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Don't they look similar? And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video with B127 and Wasp, it totally reminds me of that one scene from Transformers Animated when Bumblebee said he and Wasp were clones. Here's that scene again.
In fact, it looks like we were both forged from the same protoform mold.
Nice looking purple battle mask slots, which totally reminds me of Wasp because Wasp's eyes were purple. Nice looking Bumblebee antennas, which totally makes sense considering Wasp and Bumblebee are technically clones of one another. But yeah, nice looking arms. He's even got the slots that could hold Volkswagen Bumblebee's sword. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with a sword, but neither did B-127. Yeah. Nice looking faux headlights, which look just like his actual headlights, which is totally fly. Nice looking legs. They're painted quite nicely, but like I said, I've never been a huge fan of this mold's legs. They just don't like to stay together, and they're extremely bulky. The backpack is big and bulky as well, which I've never been a huge fan of either. But yeah, it's good nonetheless. He's got the exact same articulation as B-127, but I'll go over it again anyway. Let me bring him in. He has articulation in the arms. They can go out this much and in this much and up this much and back this much, and there's a bend at the elbow and a swivel at the elbow. Legs can kick back this much and up this much and out this much and in this much. But when you do that, you'll probably see what I meant by the legs not wanting to stay tabbed in. I assume you will. His legs can also rotate this much. Not all the way around, it stops about right here. A little bit of waist articulation, but it's slightly limited due to the clunky backpack. Head can look up this much and down this much and can rotate all the live long day around. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation. Let me just get him to stand up here. Alrighty, people, let's get down to some comparisons. Let's bring in this figure's inspiration. None other than Mr. B-127, Studio Series 70. Can you see some resemblance between Wasp and B-127? The only real difference right now is the head. Because as you might recall in my B-127 review that I published at the beginning of that three-parted series, I took Off-Road Bumblebee's head and put it on B-127 to give him a more accurate looking head. B-127's original Battle Mask head sculpt is currently on Off-Road Bumblebee, but with it, the figure would look just like Wasp. Here's what B-127 looks like with his Battle Mask head sculpt so I can show you the resemblance between the two of them. Can you see the resemblance? They totally look just alike. The eBay seller did a phenomenal job. I got one more comparison for all of you. Let me just take out B-127 and let's bring in B-127's inspiration, Cliff Jumper. They look nice together, but they never actually appeared in the same scene together. And like I said before, Wasp hasn't made a debut in even one live-action film yet. One. But I have to assume if they made a live-action film that revolved around Bumblebee and Wasp's relationship, I have to assume that Cliff Jumper would appear in that movie as well, because I'm pretty sure Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper are old friends as well. What can I say? Bumblebee's a friendly guy. He's got tons of friends. Am I right? Alrighty, people, this pretty much wraps up Wasp's robot mode. Let's get down to transformation, shall we? First off, you can come in, bring him in, take his accessory, remove it, set it off to the side, and I have no idea what to do. I'm just kidding. You can untab his chest, bring it down like that. You can bring out the trunk for the sports car, fold in the faux headlights, and we'll deal with that again later. Let's start with the feet. You can fold up the toes, which will also fold up the shin pad, so you're killing two birds with one stone, you might say. You can bring this up to give you clearance to bring the wheel around, unfold it, bring it around, shimmy it into place, swivel it to get it into position, and this will tab it right into there, just like you do with B-127. Like that. There. Then you can bring this down and line it up as best you can, but you'll worry about that again later on. Alrighty, let's repeat the same process on the opposite foot. fold this up, get it out of the way, unfold wheel, fold entire assembly around, or at least try to, because figures tend to be turds. That's a good one. There we go. Now we can just line it up and tab it in. Maybe it'll work. There we go. Then you can bring this down again, and voila! Now you can come up here, take the backpack, unfold the entire thing, which I've never noticed how satisfying that felt. But yeah, you can untab this, which will give you clearance to untab the arms and fold them inward. And now you can finish up the legsies. Let me just bring in the lights a little bit. There we are. Get the gun trying to slip around on me. There we are. That's better. It'll have to do. And you can just make sure everything stays tabbed in. Oh, must have been a notification or something. Ow. You can bring this up, bring this in, and this will tab right into that square or rectangle shaped tab right there, like that. You can line this up, make sure everything stays into place, which, as you know, Transformers don't really like to do because they're turns sometimes. Especially Decepticons, because they're evil. And you can also tab the feet into place, which will assemble the cannon. Assemble the cannon! Assemble thigh cannon! Thou cannon, I should say. And you can bring this up, tab this together as well, and the outline of the car should be done. Then you can come up here to his head, his mug, fold it in, and I have a feeling I should have done that earlier, but it's not that big a deal. And then you can shift this backward, tab the front bumper into place, and you can line up this back section here, like that. Make sure everything else is looking phenom. Oh yeah, looking fly. And we're done. I'm just kidding. Then you can come and deal with my least favorite part of the transformation, with the arms. Right after you situate that. BRB. The roof wasn't fully tabbed in, but I got it in as best I could. So where were we? Oh yeah, the annoying arms, the AA, if you will. Like I said, right here. Tab on the arm. That'll tab right into that little rectangular shaped tab right down there, and it'll sit fully flush underneath the car. Or it should, anyway. Actually looks pretty good. Come on. And you can come over here and repeat the same process on the opposing side. Man, it really is opposing. It's opposing, wanting to be transformed. Ding! Ding, ding, ding. Let me see how well it rolls. Huh? Must be done. You would tab the weapon underneath the car. Like I said, too hard. So, we're done. Here we have the Transformers Studio Series eBay exclusive Wasp in his awesome looking Cybertronian sports car alt mode. Some final thoughts on the figure. It's a phenomenal figure. Hopefully this is a sign that we'll get an official Studio Series Wasp in the Studio Series line. I know Wasp hasn't actually made a debut in any live action franchise yet, but maybe they can make a Studio Series 86 Wasp. I don't think he actually appeared in the 1986 film, but maybe they could do it for his appearance in G1, if he appeared in G1. I'm honestly not sure what he appeared in. I only know his appearance in Transformers Animated, but who knows? But in 2023, they're making a new Transformers movie called Rise of the Beasts. That has potential, since Wasp has a beast in his name, Wasp. So maybe he'll appear in that movie. That'd be cool. I would say that you should pick this figure up for yourself, which you should. It's phenomenal, but I'm not sure if there are any others. This figure might be one of a kind. But if I ever find this figure on eBay again, I'll leave a link in the description box below. So come back here every now and then to check her out. Well, friends, this pretty much wraps up this video review. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to click that big red subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on a future video. And you're not going to want to miss a single video because I have many videos planned. I have so many ideas rumbling around in my noggin. You know, hard as a rock, am I right? But yeah, you're not going to want to miss any of those videos. So I highly recommend subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss a single one. You won't regret it. Anyway, as always, I am Raccoon-Formers, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.